What's up, guys? Randy with Ace Tactical. Today we're going to be talking about a gun that I've owned for some time now. This is the Smith & Wesson Shield EZ Performance Center model. So you got that black and gold setup. It also comes black silver or black and black. And then it has that little compensator in the front right there. This is a cool little gun. We'll talk about it some more here in a second and get some shooting footage. It would make for a good concealed carry gun if that's what you're looking for. But I don't conceal carry it personally because I conceal carry an X macro. Right here, speaking of concealed carry, this is my X macro. I have the Terran Tactical base plate on this one right now. Sometimes I wear the flush fit mag. But this gun is cleared, by the way. I don't have anything in it right now because I knew we were going to be filming this. But I do carry one in the chamber. I also recommend to carry one in the chamber if you're carrying. This is the X macro. Go ahead and check out that review we did on this gun. This is the ultimate concealed carry setup in my opinion. And when I'm wearing athletic clothes like I am right now, I pair it with the leisure carry clip-on belt. So it clips onto anything with drawstrings, joggers, shorts, whatever, you name it. And then allows you to comfortably conceal carry appendix. So go ahead, check out both those videos, and then come right back and finish this one up. Thanks for watching the channel, guys. Like and subscribe. Cool. Today we're going to be talking about the Smith & Wesson Shield EZ Performance Center model. This was actually the first handgun I ever bought on my own. First handgun I bought, not the first handgun that I owned. The first handgun that I owned was Beretta 92, gifted to me by my dad when I was 18. This was the first handgun I bought when I turned 21, when I was still young in the Army. At the time, I didn't know too much about guns. I just thought this looked cool. Knowing what I know now, I wouldn't necessarily, me personally, this isn't a gun I would go out and buy again, but I don't have any regrets buying it. I do plan on selling it just to free up some space because I have a lot of guns now. But for what this gun is, no regrets buying it. I do think it's actually a great little gun. We'll go ahead and talk about it some more today, and then you guys will see footage of it shooting. Okay, recording. All right, guys, this firearm is cleared, by the way. Let's talk about this top to bottom, break it down. There's not much going on with this. It's a completely stock gun. This is how you will get it out of the box. But at the top, you have these night sights up here that they're actually, I love these night sights. They pick up very well. I have never had an issue with them in the dark. They glow pretty bright. So actually a big fan of the stock iron sights that come on here. It has a loaded chamber indicator up top, so when there is a round in, that little bar will be depressed upwards, and it'll be sticking out of the slide, so you know that the chamber has one in the chamber. I don't really care for a loaded chamber indicator, so because I usually just go in and press check anyways. But if you like a loaded chamber indicator, it does come with one. I don't think they offer any models. Maybe they're newer models. I haven't been keeping up with Smith & Wesson, but maybe their newer models offer a optic cut version. This one does not. Part of why I do plan to get rid of it. I will say, I do think it looks good. At the time, I used to like that gold accents and stuff like that. Now I'm not a huge fan of gold, but I do still think it looks pretty good. The gold looks pretty nice. This barrel right here has a little chunk port out of there to offer some sort of compensation. So for a small gun, tiny gun, it does shoot relatively well actually. You know, you guys that shoot, you'll know like small guns like a 43X, 365 series, those tend to be a little snappier just because they're smaller in the hand. There's less mass behind that bullet going outwards. The energy produced is going into a small frame and then into your hands, into the rest of your body. So it's going to be a lot snappier. However, this is still a pretty nice shooting gun. All right, guys. So up here, I wanted to get up close. It's kind of be a little difficult to see, but I wanted to go over the finish of the barrel, that gold finish. Right here, you can see part of it is coming off just due to, that's just with natural wear and tear. You guys know I don't baby my guns or anything, so they do all get used. Even though this is the gun that I've owned for the longest time, or the first gun that I've bought, so not necessarily, there's the 92 I owned longer. But this gun, even though I've owned it for a long time now, I don't actually have that much rounds through it. I have about 700, and it's probably not going to go much higher than that since I plan to sell it. But after 700 rounds and then just normal wear and tear by me, you can see right here the gold finish does have some wear and tear, but nothing crazy. Okay guys, going past the barrel, we'll talk about the slide itself. The slide, they did a good job. It looks very nice. You have the slide lightning cuts up here. You have nice lines on the slide. Some serrations up front, so if you want to manipulate the slide from the front. You have good aggressive serrations in the back if you want to manipulate it from the back. And then it's might be kind of hard to see, but actually when you get to the back, they do wing out. It makes it very easy to grab. So the slide, I like it. It looks good. Let's talk about the EZ model itself. The reason why it's called EZ, it's meant for the kind of geriatric market, so older people or women, because this slide right here, super easy to manipulate. It requires super little effort to just bring the slide back, like 2 fingers, index and thumb, and the slide will come back. It's not like some guns out there having a super stiff spring. Older people that don't have a lot of strength to produce power on this slide might have a hard time racking some guns. I don't think anybody, except for like a really small child, would have a hard time pulling this back. So, yeah, pretty, if you are looking for a firearm and you have a hard time racking the gun, this would be a good option for you. All right, guys, we got Smith & Wesson Performance Center Shield EZ. We got 8 rounds in the mag instead of the standard 10 that we usually shoot this A-zone steel at distance at, just because the mag only holds 8 rounds. But 8 rounds, we'll see how we do. One miss, I'll go ahead and take it. Pretty cool little gun. All right, guys, next thing going down. These are 2 things I don't particularly like about the firearm, but I'll talk about them because they're there. It's going to be the manual safety. So I know some people who are probably looking at this gun, these are things you guys are looking for. Manual safety, and then another external safety right here, the rear grip safety. I'm not a big fan. I don't mind a rear grip safety if when it goes in, it sits flush with the frame. This one, even when it's pressed in all the way, it doesn't sit flush with the frame. So it kind of gives your hand a weird grip when you're gripping and firing. But if you can get past that, this is a great gun actually. And then, so if you are somebody looking for more safeties in place because you're kind of afraid of firearms, or maybe this is your first firearm you're getting into, I do think this is a good option if you're looking for that kind of self-assurance with the extra safeties. The safeties, once more, how they work. So manual safety, if the safety is down, the gun can fire. If it's up, it won't fire. So if I depress the grip safety, pull the trigger, nothing's happening. Flip the manual safety down, depress the grip safety, pull the trigger, the hammer, internal hammer goes off, gun will go bang. We'll do it again. Safety's down, depress the grip safety, internal hammer goes. Now, if your manual safety is down, but you do not depress the grip safety, the gun's not gonna fire. You can pull this all you want, the hammer won't drop. Now depress this, hammer drops. Mod light, I didn't have it completely tightened on, fell off. I don't even know if it's compatible with this mount. It should be compatible with this mounting, with this rail right here. It should have enough pick rail for the mod light to mount up, but it fell. We'll get that tightened. Or maybe I just won't run it because it does look pretty goofy with it on there. But it was the one spare light I had. And this was, for a long time, my like kind of nightstand gun. It just sits in a drawer next to my bed. So I need a light on it. And this was one of the spare lights, the mod light, because I don't run anything. But good to know, it fell off. All right, guys, since I'm not a fan of a grip safety that doesn't sit flush, that's why I use these thicker rubber bands. Ranger bands, as if you look on Amazon, type in Ranger bands, you can buy them. I didn't get them primarily for this. I actually use them on my rifle setup for wire management. So, but when you buy them, they come with a pack of like 100 of these little Ranger bands. So I have a bunch of them, and I only use a bit for my few rifle setups for wire management. But with this, it just kind of keeps that grip safety depressed out of the way. And then it does offer a little bit of texture when you are gripping the gun, just more rubber texture. So that's why I use them. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna break this gun down and then show you guys the internal hammer. It's not a striker fired gun. It is actually a hammer fired gun, internal hammer, which leads it to have actually a pretty nice trigger. This trigger, very positive wall. And then I would guess probably somewhere between a 4.5 to 5 pound break. It's actually a very nice trigger for an out-of-the-box gun. Alright guys, the gun breaks down very easy, similar like a 320. Just lock the slide to the rear, flip this down, slide will come off. One thing I will say is if you do run rubber band system or Ranger bands like me on here, you do have to remove that before taking the slide off, because as the safety is depressed, this little notch right here lifts up and you won't be able to get the slide. All right guys, this is the little notch I'm talking about right there. Once I depress the manual safety, that notch goes up. So if you're taking the slide off or putting it back on, the slide will get stuck. So just make sure the manual safety is not depressed, and the slide should go right on and right off very easily. All right guys, and then one last thing, that internal hammer I was talking about. This guy right here, we will pull the trigger, hammer goes. So internally hammer fired gun makes for actually a pretty nice trigger. All right guys, so another feature that makes this for a geriatric model firearm, somebody older or somebody with just maybe arthritis, maybe weaker hands, is the magazine. You have a single stack mag that carries 8 rounds, so nothing crazy, single stack mag. But super easy to load. You have these little ledges right here. You can just set the mag down on the ground on the table, manually depress the ledges, and then just drop in bullets. And there we go, super easy. Unlike some firearms where, you know, coming up top and then having to press down, somebody with arthritis or somebody older, somebody with weaker hands might have trouble doing that. So there it is. And then one actually fun fact about this gun that makes it pretty cool, almost kept me from selling it, is UFC fighter Michael Chandler. This is actually what he uses. This is his, I guess, handgun. If you watch Sean Ryan's show, the podcast he did with Michael Chandler, he talks about this firearm. This is like the one handgun that he owns, I guess. So that's kind of cool. All right, guys. So yeah, great gun for anyone that's looking for extra safety features as well. If you are buying this for somebody who wants something more safe, or you want them to be more safe because they're newer to firearms, they're not as familiar, and you're just teaching them as they go, one cool thing about this is even with the manual safety engaged, you can still manipulate that slide, so you could extract that round if you needed to, without worrying about it going off. I thought that was a good little feature. Most guns with an external safety, you can't rack the firearm with the safety engaged. It has to be disengaged. But with this, you can have the safety engaged still and manipulate that slide all day long. So cool little feature for them. All right, guys. So wrapping up the video, once again, Smith & Wesson Shield Easy Performance Center. I think this is a great beginner gun. If you're somebody like a geriatric person, maybe a woman, somebody who has a harder time manipulating the slide, this would be a great option for you. Or if you just think it looks cool, because I don't think this is a bad gun at all, actually. My only complaint is really just the external safety not being flush fit with the frame once it's depressed. So it gives me kind of a weird grip when I am gripping it. But other than that, I do think this is a great gun. Size, very concealable if you want to conceal it. Not super expensive. I think Smith & Wesson's website MSRPs them for $645 or $643, something like that. So not an expensive gun for everything you're getting. Night sights, stuff like that, if you want to use it at home. This was actually my nightstand gun it still is my nightstand gun actually. So since 2021, or not 21, since I've been 21, this has been my nightstand gun. Yeah, great little gun. I would give it probably a 6.5 out of 10 for an out-of-the-box gun that I'm not a huge, like I said, I wouldn't probably buy this just because it doesn't have, it's not cut for an optic. But if I wasn't super hung up on an optic, I think this would be a great gun. If it did accept an optic, I would keep this gun, and I would actually, this is what I would have my girlfriend training with right now. Just because she is somebody who has a hard time manipulating a slide. She can manipulate the slide of like pretty much every handgun I own, but she does like one where it's lighter. So like my Prodigy, she loves shooting that. She does like racking this more so than like my Glock or something with the harder to manipulate slide. But she also likes to shoot a red dot versus iron sights. So that's why I'm getting rid of this. She won't be shooting it. And then I just have no need for it anymore. Even though it was a good nightstand gun, I have so many guns that I'm just gonna throw something else in the nightstand. So 6.5 out of 10, I would say. Yeah, great little gun. I don't think, it's definitely has a market out there. It's just not for me. But if you are somebody that are looking for the things that it offers, it's a great gun. So thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more to come.